In a world where everything vibrates, everything breathes, and everything pulses with an invisible frequency, there exists an ancient knowledge hidden for centuries. This wisdom was never meant for the curious mind that seeks only to analyze. It was reserved for the brave soul that remembers. You see, my friends, living energy is not just a concept to be studied. It is a secret key, a mystical code that unlocks the doors to a reality that many sense, but few truly understand. Inspired by the sacred writings and esoteric wisdom of Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, this exploration does more than inform you. If you allow it, it transforms you. We are diving into the mysteries of vibration to discover how thought shapes matter, how intention directs energy, and how you can awaken your inner power to reshape your surroundings, your body, and your destiny. This is no ordinary journey. It is a voyage into the depths of the soul and the heights of consciousness, because those who master vibration master life itself. Before form existed, thought vibrated. Before thought arose, will pulsed, and within that will, without desire, slept the seed of all worlds. This is the beginning of the great treatise of life. We must understand that the human being was not born merely to receive, or to be a victim of circumstances. You were forged to project. What you call reality is nothing more than a solidified projection of your inner images. The matter surrounding you is the geometric reflection of your vibrational field. It is not what you occasionally think that creates your world, but what you continuously sustain from your core. It is that which vibrates even in your silence, that which you emit even in denial, that which you project even as you sleep. This axiom, understood only by the initiates of the sacred schools, whether in the Orphic mysteries or the caves of Tibetan bodhisattvas, constitutes the cornerstone of the sacred art of manifestation. All is vibration, but not all vibration is creative. Only that which is held with awakened will and stabilized emotion acquires the degree of densification needed to penetrate the subtle layers of the universal field and sculpt within it a visible architecture. The universe does not create by chance, it creates by resonance. If the world responds to who you are, it is not because the world is listening to your prayers, but because you are emitting the world. Matter is nothing but energy whose frequency has been slowed down by the persistence of the thought that originated it. The density of things is merely the age of their vibration. That which is sustained long enough must take form. Life does not come to you, it radiates from you. The ancients knew that every sound creates a shape, and every thought is an inaudible sound. When this sound is paired with a coherent emotion and sustained over time, it acts like an invisible chisel, carving matter into shape. In the hidden doctrine, it is taught that the Word is the mother of the gods. This Word is the central vibration of your soul. The obedient universe does not respond to your conscious requests. It responds to your constant vibration. Magic does not lie in wishing. It lies in sustainment. It lies in emitting with an intensity that matches the core of certainty. Not every idea creates. Only the one sustained with emotional fire becomes a unified truth. To think, in the occult sense, is to emit a coherent frequency that configures the ether and compels it to take shape. But this coherence is not a passive condition. It is the result of inner training and vibrational discipline. For thought to function as an effective creative unit, it must meet three conditions. These three forces form the generating triangle. When an idea is born from that triangle, the image begins to attract subtle forms. It takes shape as a vibrational pattern and passes through the veils until it becomes part of the physical plane. That is authentic creation. I have not come to bring you theories. I have come to return you to your function. Are you willing to abandon the inherited image of who you thought you were? Are you ready to stop asking and start emitting? Are you prepared to cease searching for external signs and begin generating internal causes? Open the doors of your mind not to read, but to remember. Because everything you are living right now, in this very moment, was already thought by you, already felt by you, and already commanded by you. The time has come to make it conscious. You are the potter. The universe is the clay, and the law of the mental equivalent is the hand that shapes the world. In the journey of the soul, we come to a realization that changes everything. Language is not merely a tool for expression, it is the programming of the field. Since the dawn of truly inspired civilizations, the ones that understood the invisible threads of the universe, the word was never used to simply inform. It was used to configure. To speak was to organize the elements. To declare was to set a causal force in motion. Inspired by the spiritual clarity of Emmet Fox and the deep esoteric echoes of Helena Blavatsky, we must understand that the word, in its hidden sense, is the vibrational mold that determines the course of every event in your life. When the ancient scriptures say, "In the beginning was the Word," they are not talking about a distant historical event. They are talking about the right now. They are talking about the conscious vibration you emit at this very second, which acts as a command to the substance of the universe. Every word you utter is a seal placed upon your destiny. Modern man has degraded language to the level of triviality, believing that to speak is merely to describe a situation. But in the mental realm, there is no such thing as an instruction. Everything you say is an instruction. When you say, "I am always late," or "My luck never changes," you are not describing a fact, you are ordering a reality. The ancient Chaldean priests practiced what we call dictum conditum, the act of pronouncing words from a specific vibrational state. They knew that sound, when emitted from inner coherence, alters the arrangement of atoms in the etheric plane. Each vowel was a key, each phrase was a vibrational gateway. Here is the spiritual danger: even words spoken without faith continue to vibrate. The universe does not listen to your dictionary definitions, it responds to your vibratory charge. If you speak from a state of worry, your words act as an invisible chisel carving worry-shaped experiences into your future. This is why the great initiates guarded their words as a priest tends a sacred fire. They did not speak idly. They did not comment on the news of the day with negativity. They knew that once a word is spoken, it cannot be retrieved. It continues to shape until a higher, purer word replaces it. However, there is a secret to this that many miss. You must visualize without hunger. When you visualize from a state of needing or wanting, you are actually broadcasting a frequency of lack. You are telling the universe, "I do not have this," and the universe, being a perfect mirror, reflects back more not having. This is why so many manifestation techniques fail. They are fueled by the anxiety of the ego rather than the certainty of the soul. The Hermetic science of visualization teaches us to remember from fullness. You are not creating something new as much as you are recalling a divine reality that already exists in the higher planes. Do not see the thing you want as something far away in the future. See it as an already present fact. Do not visualize the climax of your success. Visualize the quiet normality of it. How do you breathe when your debt is gone? How do you walk when your heart is healed? What do you say to yourself in the mirror when the goal has been reached? When you inhabit the normality of the vision, you strip away the hunger and replace it with vibrational stability. The longer you hold an image without distorting it with doubt or urgency, the more clearly it organizes the elements around you. We cannot speak of the word and the image without addressing the shadow. You may declare prosperity with your mouth, but if there is a hidden frequency of odworthiness pulsing in your unconscious, that shadow becomes the primary programmer of your life. The shadow is not evil. It is simply an unrecognized vibration. It is a collection of unrevealed powers and unexpressed emotions that continue to emit signals without your permission. What you choose not to look at, you project. What you do not name from your conscious presence, you name by omission. If a pattern repeats in your life, if the same types of people or the same types of failures keep returning, it is because the shadow is writing orders in the background. The spiritual student does not flee from these ghosts. They interrogate them. You must bring the light of consciousness to these hidden corners. Ask yourself, what part of me is still vibrating with the old story? When you identify the shadow and give it a name, it loses its autonomous power. You rescue that fallen energy and align it with your higher purpose. Are you ready to stop being a passive recipient of your destiny and start being the active configurator of your field? Remember, the universe does not respond to your hope. It responds to your consolidated identity. Every phrase you speak carelessly is an act of creation. Every image you hold with certainty is a command. You do not need luck when you have alignment. You do not need permission when you have coherence. As you move forward, let every word be a bridge to your higher self, and every vision be a memory of your divine inheritance. You are the master of the vibration, and the field is waiting for your next command, while your physical body rests, and the conscious, reasoning intellect is temporarily suspended. Your deep mind remains vibrantly awake and in direct communion with infinite intelligence. Many people wrongly assume that sleep is merely a biological necessity, a blank space in existence. In truth, sleep is the secret workshop of the soul. It is the sacred laboratory where answers are forged, where the tangled threads of daily life are woven into perfect divine order. If you find yourself facing a financial dilemma, or if you need clear, unerring guidance on a business decision, you must learn to incubate your question before you sleep. The technique is a form of scientific prayer. When you lie in bed, physically relaxed and mentally serene, write your question down or hold it clearly in your mind. Then firmly and quietly state your treatment. Divine intelligence knows the answer, and it is revealing it to me now. I rest in the perfect peace of God, open and receptive to the truth. Having spoken the word, drop the matter entirely. Go to sleep in the absolute certainty that the great I Am has taken the problem into its own hands. When you awaken, pay close attention to your first impressions and your dreams. In the realm of spirit, water, light, and open doors are often the soul's way of illustrating the free and unhindered flow of divine supply. Do not dismiss the quiet wisdom of the night. It is God speaking to you in the universal language of symbols. When you train your subconscious to seek answers in the divine mind during sleep, you will awaken with a clarity and a certainty that the waking intellect could never provide. In the clamor and noise of the modern world, the voice of fear, doubt, and human urgency is loud and demanding. But intuition, your true financial radar, is the still small voice of God within you. It is serene, crystal clear, and entirely unhurried. When you learn to distinguish between the chaotic shout of fear and the tranquil whisper of spirit, you will never make a poor financial or life decision again. Fear operates on a frequency of lack. It urges you to act frantically, warning you that if you do not grab an opportunity immediately, you will miss out forever. The divine mind does not operate in haste. To access this inner radar, you must practice the presence of God daily. You must deliberately carve out moments to sit in the silence. Retreat from the world, close your eyes, and quiet the intellect. Ask your question, and then simply wait. Do not strive, do not strain, and do not attempt to force an answer. When the instruction finally comes from the divine mind, it will always be accompanied by an unmistakable, profound feeling of tranquility. Even if the guidance tells you to take a bold, unexpected step, your heart will feel anchored in absolute peace. That peace is the ultimate proof of divine direction. If you feel confused, agitated, or pressured, do not move. Wait until the still small voice speaks with the gentle authority of truth. Every man and woman walking the path to prosperity will inevitably face closed doors. A business deal falls through, a job offer is rescinded, or a promising partnership dissolves. The human mind instantly labels this as a failure and plunges into despair. But in the perfect economy of spirit, there are no failures. What the intellect perceives as a rejection is, in reality, divine protection. The infinite intelligence sees the entire tapestry of your life, from beginning to end, while you see only a single, isolated thread. When an opportunity is removed from your grasp, it is because the divine mind knows it is not for your highest good. Do not mistake a no for a defeat. To permanently change your financial demonstration, knowing the truth is not enough, you must live it. You must undertake a strict and uncompromising mental diet. This is the most crucial test of your spiritual understanding. For the next 30 days, you must make a solemn covenant with yourself, not to allow a single thought of lack, poverty, sickness, or limitation to reside in your mind. Your mind is a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. Each time you turn your back on the illusion of lack and firmly affirm God's limitless abundance, you are literally wiring new pathways in your brain and building new, prosperous equivalents in your soul. Begin your morning by actively claiming your good. Say, "Today is God's day. I am surrounded by divine substance, and my supply is endless." Throughout the day, you must remain a vigilant watchman at the door of your consciousness. If a negative thought tries to enter, a worry about a bill, a fear of the economy, a belief in scarcity, you must drop it immediately. Do not argue with the thought. Simply turn your attention instantly back to the presence of God. You cannot think two thoughts at once. Displace the thought of lack with the thought of divine love. This 30-day mental diet will not be easy. The old habits of human thinking will try to reassert themselves. But if you stand firm, if you absolutely refuse to give mental consent to poverty, by the end of these 30 days, your consciousness will be completely renewed. You will have built a consciousness so rich, so deeply anchored in the truth of infinite supply, that your outer world will have no choice but to transform into a masterpiece of continuous prosperity.